that would full on like crash out painter style, shall we say. Hey guys, CrimsGreyVR here, and in this video I'm going to be ranking some of my friends' Sonas based on how much of a villain they would be. So, lock your secret layers down and enjoy the video. Now the first Sona I'm going to be ranking is Minez's, and you may recognize him from a past video that I did with him as like an escape room. Hint, hint, background. But yes, by the time this video is out, the other video will be out a week prior. But yes, in terms of ranking his Sona art, I'm going to start off with this. He is 100% a gremlin for sure, in like chaotic, like goober way. That's all I could really put. That's all I could really put for that, because he's the one that would absolutely like take your kneecaps out of nowhere or something like that, or just like, you know, tickle, you know, just random tickling, you know. He'd be the villain that would like be the super inconvenient villain that's like not like the super main character villain, but a not necessarily like the side villain, but a villain that's like not the main villain, as I said, but also that's kind of like the Joker kind of character. That's all I can really say about Minez's Sona. And yeah, cute fox. So you know how foxes are. They're very chaotic. Let's rip up the couch. You know, we just gotta rip it up. Now, when it comes to ranking Minez's Sona, I'm gonna have to say they are gonna have to go in Gremlin tier, because as I said before, I don't think anyone would doubt that he's like silly gremlin mode. Silly gremlin for sure. Not gonna lie, I would partner up with this gremlin. Would be the ultimate gremlin team. Now, the next friend Sona I'm gonna be ranking is a friend of mine called Freeze. I'm just gonna say Freeze. And with his Sona, I'm gonna have to say, in regards to villain level, he'd definitely be a gremlin in a way, but I feel like he'd be more than a gremlin. He'd be like the villain that would be somewhat silly, but also in a way to make the superhero think that they're like dumb or something, and then like they trick him into doing something that would get him into like their weak point or something like that, in terms of villain versus superhero kind of thing. I think they'd be an absolute gremlin. They would go for the knees, as well as their Sona's villain level would be the kind of villain where they would have like the silly kind of Megamind style torture moments where it's like, if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm gonna take your tail. And then like they're obviously bluffing, and yeah, they're not actually gonna do it. That's all I'm gonna really say. It's like a next level from Gremlin. When it comes to ranking his villain level, I'm gonna have to say, just based off of how his Sonas look, he gives off the vibe of like a Indiana Jones villain too. Also, that's something I would want to add to that, because it's like silly, like, Mr. Jones, you know. Now, I forget what the quote was in the movie, but it's like, what is yours is now mine, you know. Yes, he's also a Indiana Jones supervillain in a very fun way. But in terms of ranking his Sona on villain level, I'm gonna have to put him in the Chaos Maker tier, because I said there's something about it that's like somewhat more than just Gremlin. In terms of ranking him, I'm gonna put him in Chaos Maker. He's not as much of a gremlin now that I think about it, but he could match that, you know? He could match it. Now the next friend of mine whose Sona I'm going to be ranking is King. And yeah, in terms of his villain level, when I look at his Sona, it gives like mad scientist vibes, but like it's a mix of the gremlin and the mad scientist in a way, because it's like, oh yes, I'm gonna make this super virus, you know, that turns everyone into furries, the pathogen. But beyond mad scientist and maybe a little bit into the gremlin tier, he'd be like the super like mysterious villain that would be like a that'd be like a professor at like a college. From the outside, you look, oh yeah, he seems like a cool, nice professor, but like on his off times, you know, he has like a secret lair, you know, secret lair down in the lab. In the lab where he's making the protoa disease, you know, it's gonna turn everyone into protogens. That's gonna be the new outbreak, bro. Okay, hear me out. I wouldn't mind that, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of protogens, but I'm not totally opposed. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, when it comes to ranking King's Sona, I'm gonna have to say he's gonna go in the mad scientist tier. So yeah, he's very much a mad scientist gremlin kind of mix, but mostly mad scientist in the gremlin way, shall we say. Now, the next one of my friend Sonas is Cheeto, and I can't think of anything else, but bro is just a hardcore gremlin, and I love it. He's like the undercover kind of gremlin, you know, that is kind of a mastermind, a secret mastermind of like the villains, shall we say. He'd be like the obscure villain that no one really takes much of a look at, because he's so like mysteriously goofy. Goober, indeed. Goober cat. Goober cheetah. Yeah. So yeah, he's the mastermind of the whole operation, okay? I can't think of anything else, okay? Just like there's something. Bro's too fluffy. Now, when it comes to ranking Cheeto, this goober is gonna go in gremlin tier for sure, cause yeah, he's bro's secret genius, okay? He's the secret genius of the whole villain's operation, okay? Not even the other villains know. That's how much of a goober, a very cute goober he is, yes. Very, very. I'm not glazing at all. Totally. Now, for the last one of my friend Sonas, it is me, aka my boy Crimson. And in terms of his villain level, I feel like bro would be the quiet, like strong, silent type of villain that would just be working, you know, and making moves behind the scenes, as as well as like whenever like the good guy of the story messes up his plans, bro like full on crashes out and that sort of thing. So bro is a little explosive, shall we say. But yes, he's also kind of a gremlin, not as much of a gremlin as my other friend Sonas. He's the kind that would full on like crash out painter style, shall we say. So you know, bro's one week away from crashing out. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, when it comes to ranking Crimson, I'm gonna have to say, in terms of villain level, bro is the bro failed art school. That's all I'm gonna say. Bro failed art school, and he's gonna his villain story would be of a revenge story in a way, cause like something wronged him, and bro's gonna be like, okay, we're playing this game now. I'm gonna mess you up. But also he'd be the kind of villain that would make such an overcomplicated plan for his plan that he would be a goober and somehow like mess it up. that's probably how it would go for him. Now, when it comes to those people, you know who you are. You're gonna be the one that are like, oh, what did you guys for permission? Did you like get copyright? You know, did you steal their art? You know, no, I did not. I asked permission, and they let me. Okay, and yeah, this is just a silly video. It's just silly, bro. fun friends rant kind of thing. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now guys, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, as well as drop a comment down below explaining how you would rank these Sonas. And other than that, CrimsGreyVR out. Oh.